Hey everyone, this is Amos Belo, and I'm here with Chuck, who was a participant of the online boot camp that just is finishing up this week. I wanted to let you get to know him and hear his story and what his experience was. So, Chuck, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah.
What's a little bit of background about you and what you do?
Well, I live in Wisconsin near Green Bay, and I work in Green Bay and just have an office job and stuff. And um, this was a great opportunity for me to just kind of, because I have a very just I sit down a lot all day, so this was a good chance for me to do something healthy to help me kind of overcome the problems I have.
Okay, sure. So you kind of decided to do it just to overcome some of these things and because you sit down a lot. Okay, so what were some of the things happening then in your life at that time?
I was going through some changes in my life, which made it a good opportunity for me to refocus with this boot camp and use it as to help me guide the changes that were happening.
Okay, what type of changes?
Just changes with just how I was spending my time and just a lot of just my current situation where I live, what I was doing. Um, and so I had just a lot of extra free time and just needed some guidance. It was really good timing for me to focus what I was doing.
Okay, so what type of guidance were you looking for? What were some of the things not working well that you wanted to have guidance on?
The biggest thing was just accountability. Having a group of brothers kind of just hold me accountable, encourage me to ask those questions that I never really asked myself. Um, that I just kind of put to the back burner because I just was an autopilot a lot and just didn't. All of a sudden, it's a couple of years later, and all of a sudden I realized, I haven't been paying attention to myself.
Okay, so one of the challenges, not really paying attention to myself, things getting out of hand. What were some of the specific challenges or problems that you wanted to focus on?
One was just having a healthier lifestyle. Because off and on I would do kind of healthy things, either focusing on eating healthier or going and working out to exercise more. But without the accountability, it and without the guidance, it was a phase. I'd go through a phase of being super good at this or that, and then time would go on and it become difficult, or I just get bored with it, and then I'd stop. So this was a good chance for me to, like I said, the accountability is a huge thing, but also get some guidance with that too, some practical help with that.
Okay, practical guidance on making the healthy lifestyle not a phase, but something that you can continue with, and then having accountability to follow through on it. That makes sense. What about were there any deeper challenges or struggles that you wanted to look at? Some of these questions that you didn't ask yourself that were coming up for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's just some personal things with it, just um, shame and stuff that just had been a problem for a long time that I really went in not really thinking about, but this has really helped encourage me in a positive way to overcome some of those obstacles that I knew about but didn't really ever address or
Sure.
didn't try to address.
Okay. And how long had that been like that?
Oh, I mean, some of these were lifelong things that this program really, I mean, being able to talk openly with you and having you as a coach definitely helped work through just addressing and working to resolve it, to
Awesome.
overcome it.
Okay. Some of these deeper things had been there your entire life. Things like shame or
Mhm.
self-worth and things that a lot of guys do deal with. We got to talk about that. Awesome. So, being honest, what were your thoughts on doing any type of coaching or program like this before you saw me or this?
I was always hesitant to do anything like this And especially with this one, I was kind of nervous because it's all online, so it wasn't like, it's you meet up with some friends and it's whatever. It was all online, but in a way that was an advantage because then it wasn't like you waited till you met with that group again. It was more with texting. It was more online, and it was a lot more flexible, which meant that it was harder to skip a week or something.
Yeah.
Because everyone's schedules are so busy that some of the weeks, one of the weeks it was no one could really make it, and then last minute it kind of just the call fell through, the weekly call, and Amos was kind enough to postpone that call and make an extra week just to make sure that we didn't miss um, that great talk, the great conversations.
Ah, yeah,
So
that was a useful part of it.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you went in feeling a little bit hesitant, and you kind of got into what was happening in the midst of it a little bit. Well, how would you describe the entire experience, the entire boot camp, with me and the other guys in detail?
It's just a great opportunity to just, I guess for me, like I said, I was kind of on autopilot a lot, and it was a good chance to just stop and refocus what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and really thinking about consequences of my actions and working to become a better Christian man. It was really encouraging to be with a group of other guys who are similar in the fact that they wanted to become better Christian men, more rooted not only in the word, but just also in life, and just more comfortable and wanting to make the positive changes that they needed to do. So it is a great experience. It's encouraging. Like I said, there's a lot of text messages and just constant reminders of what your goal is, which was really helpful for me.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Now, what are some of these positive changes that you and the other guys were working towards that you now have kind of seen come to fruition? What are some of these things that you're feeling and putting into practice now?
Um, Even though this was again all online and stuff, I think a lot of us are getting up earlier. I know I am, and making more use of our time in the morning, especially with working out, which surprises me how 6 weeks ago I struggled and just I would get up and then half the time just go back to bed.
Mhm.
But now I get up and I do things. I do go to the rec center to work out and just to be healthy. I know I and a lot of other people are just more conscious about what we buy and what we eat, especially. Again, during the was it week 2 or 3, gave us a great list of or suggestions for positive foods to eat. So that was a great tool. It was good just talking about that. Um, and I definitely think it sounds like it definitely has helped a lot of people just with relationships too. A lot of the guys um, being able to talk through that with other people, other Christian men. So there's a lot of positives that have come from this.
Awesome. And how are you feeling now looking forward?
I feel more optimistic than I did 6 weeks ago. Um, I was just going through some of the goals from week one, and some I hit, some I missed, some, I'm just glad I made progress. But with all of them, I'm just thankful that I am better off than I was 6 weeks ago. I am closer to those goals
Yeah.
and making positive life changes.
Okay. And you feel optimistic continuing that progress and hitting those goals while also seeing the ones you already accomplished?
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
Do you feel like you act differently around other people now than you did before, having gone through some of these things?
Yes. Um, like I said, I was in a point of a lot of change in my life when this started. And this definitely has given me more confidence and more just direction in where I was going. I remember week one, I was probably the worst with the goals, because one of my goals was just really weak, and you helped me really talk through what I needed to talk through and make the decision that I already kind of knew ahead of time. I just didn't want to make a decision, and yeah. And anyways, it definitely, I feel more, I have more direction right now and more purpose, because I do a lot more with a purpose. Just with eating, just eat. I think through, well, how I'm going. Is it a good choice to eat? Is it healthier? Is it worth it? And with other people too, it's just talking more confidently, because I feel more confident in myself.
Awesome.
So
What type of impact does that have on the people around you and your interactions, the confidence that you have?
I think it's a positive change, for sure. I think they notice it, and I think it makes it easier to work with, like, my coworkers at work.
Sure. How does it feel to be able to look at yourself and feel more confident, having gone
Feels
through a
good.
lifetime of not really feeling that way?
I mean, I'm still a work in progress, but it feels good. It feels good to be aware and, acknowledging kind of my faults and working through them and working to improve.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Noticing that and looking to improve. What are you most looking forward to when you think about the future?
I think well, I know that the past technically 7 weeks with this boot camp just have, it's been a good wake up call for me. It started some really good habits that I've always wanted to do, but never had the motivation to do it or the follow through. And I'm excited because I truly believe the follow through is there for a lot of these things, like eating healthy or working out. It's The follow through is there with just being more aware of the relationships I have with other people and the confidence I have in myself.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so what would you say now looking at the people that might want to do something like this or might struggle with similar things or whatever they have going on, what would you say to those people who are putting off making a decision or putting off creating these behaviors in relationships in their life?
I was there. I was in the same situation, and I am glad that I did this. I am glad that I took the time to do this. And really, it's not that big of a time commitment, because when it's doing things you want to do, it's, I mean, you can't really say it's taking up too much time. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I would definitely say you should do it, because even if you make a little bit of change, even if you make one day better than it would have been otherwise, it's worth it.
mm,
And I know this is going to have a long lasting effect on my life. And I hope to do
awesome.
this again sometime in the future.
Oh, sweet. Well, it'll be even better next time you do it, I promise.
Yeah.
Okay, and then last thing is what was the most important thing that helped you achieve, the results you did achieve and the mindset looking forward in this 6 week, 7 week period?
I think one of the biggest things was just thinking about instant gratification. Because I was a planner. A lot of times I would look towards the future, and the future, like, oh, this could open up this opportunity, or I could, work up to this goal. But then sometimes you just need to acknowledge what you've done and just really celebrate that and enjoy that and be proud of it, because even if it's a small step, it's a step forward.
Hmm. Perfect. I remember talking about that, so it's cool hearing you say it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wonderful. I appreciate you doing this, and I appreciate you talking to other people who might be watching this video, which is for their
And
benefit.
hopefully they'll sign up.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah,
Like I
it's worth
said,
it.
thank you. I really appreciate you, Chuck. You did a wonderful job, and I look forward to working more in the future and keeping in touch and keeping that accountability going, keeping that journey, because life is it's just a lifelong journey of ups and downs, but we do it together and we go a lot further, a lot faster.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, God bless.